Now the first thing you want to do is make sure it's in standard form. All the variables are already on your left, so it's already there. So your first step, you can just skip that, because it's already in standard form. Okay. So your second step, you want to pick any two of the equations to get rid of a variable. Okay, so we'll pick equations 1 and 2. And we'll get rid of the x. You're going to get rid of the y or the z. I pick the x because it's a smaller number. Okay, so if we have x plus y plus z equals 500, and we also have 5x plus 10y plus 15z equals 4,750. If we add them together, the x wouldn't go anywhere. So we get every term here and multiply it by -5. So now we have -5x plus 5x. Okay. So multiply every term by -5. Kind of separate that so it's not mixed up with the stuff above it. So that means you have -5 times x plus -5 times y plus -5 times z equals -5 times 500. And the second one just stays the same. Oops, got my little brackets there. So you have 5x, -5x minus 5y minus 5z equals -2,500. So I'm always amazed at the bravery of people who can take math notes in pen. I make way too many mistakes. All right, so we just write out our second one. We already did. Oops, forgot to do that one. Sorry about that. Actually, should have went a step down. Again, another mistake. Forgot to rewrite our second one. I think I jumped ahead a step. So actually, you should have rewrote that one underneath it. 5x plus 10y plus 15. Nobody pointed out that I put an x there.
We know what you meant.
15z equals 4,750. There we go. So now we just go ahead and simplify those. Okay, so you have -5x minus 5y minus 5z equals -2,500. And our second is 5x plus 10y plus 15z equals 4,750. Okay, so now when you add them together, your x's will disappear. Minus 5x plus 5x is 0, so that disappears. -5y plus 10y is positive 5y. -5z plus 15z is positive 10z. -2,500 plus 4,750 is 2250. Okay. So you have your first two variable equation. Okay. So now you pick another two, either 1 and 3 or 2 and 3, and you do the same thing. Okay. So let's say we add 1 and 3. Equations 1 and 3. Make sure that's clear. So equation 3 to eliminate the x. So remember, you have to eliminate it, so you have to multiply every term in equation 1 by -8 in order to get rid of the x. So multiply equation 1 by -8 to get rid of the x. Okay, so if you have -8 times x plus -8 times y plus -8 times z equals -8 times 500. And equation 3 is just 8x plus 16y plus 25z equals 7,700. Oh, did I write 70? Yep. So there should be another 0 right up here. Okay. So now if we simplify that, -8x minus 8y minus 8z equals -4,000.
You're off the screen.
Oh, thank you. There you go. Move that up some. So we have our 8x plus 16y plus 25z equals 7,700. We just go ahead and add those together. Okay, minus 8x plus 8x is 0, so that disappears like we planned it. Negative 8y plus 16y is positive 8y. And negative 8z plus 25z is positive 17z. Yes,
Is it 770 or 7,700?
should be 7,700. Right.
Wait. In the first equation,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from the first
in
one.
the starting it was 770?
Oh yeah, I forgot to add a 0 there.
What was that? Oh,
Yeah, I forgot to add one. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so -4,000 plus 7,700 is 3,700. Okay, so now you have two of your two variable equations. So now we can just solve for x and y. I mean y and z. And we'll continue that on the next page. I'll leave that up there for a few more seconds. As we get this started on this page. All right. So now that gives us 5y plus 10z equals 2250. And 8y plus 17z equals 3,700. Okay, so this is our third step. Oh, is that the fourth step? Let me make sure. Yep, fourth step. There we go. Now, the only thing is, if you add together the y terms, it won't cancel out. If you add together the z terms, it won't cancel out. If you multiply just the y by something, you can't magically turn that into a -8 to cancel out, or this into a -17. So this is one of the situations where you have to multiply both of them. Okay, so you multiply every term here by -8 and every term here by +5. This way you do that, they'll cancel each other out. So multiply each term by -8. And for this one, multiply each term by +5. Okay, so if we did that, we'd have -8 times 5y plus -8 times 10z equals -8 times 2,250. And here we have 5 times 8y. I don't know why I was about to put 5y there. Plus 5 times 17z equals 5 times 3,700. Okay, so if we go ahead and simplify each of those terms, we end up with -40y minus 80z equals -18,000. Okay, and for the second equation, we end up with 40y plus 85z equals 18,500. Okay, so now if we add them together, the y would disappear. Okay, so you have -40y and +40y, which disappears, just like we planned it. -80z plus 85z is 5z. -18,000 plus 18,500 is just 500. We divide both sides by 5. We end up with z equals 100. Okay. Now, once you have your variable there, you just plug that back into either one of those to solve for the other variable. So that's, you can just solve for both. So plug into either equation. To solve for y. Okay, so we'll just pick the 5y plus 10z. So 5y plus 10z equals 2250. That means 5y plus 10 times 100 is 2250. Okay, so 5y plus 1,000 is 2250. If we subtract 1,000 from both sides, we have 5y. Clean that up a little bit. Equals 1,250. Divide both sides by 5. We have y equals 250. Okay, so we have our y and we have our z. So all we have to do now is go back to one of our original equations, plug those two in, and solve for x. So plug, about to put x. Plug y equals 250 and z equals 100 into any of the original equations. To solve for x. Okay, so you can't use these equations up here because there is no x to solve for. So you have to go back to the beginning. Okay, so I picked that one simply because it's the easiest one to just plug in and solve. So you have x plus y plus z equals 500. Oops, bring it up a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's one of our original equations. So that means that x plus 250 plus 100 equals 500. Or we can go ahead and combine those two. So x plus 350, bring that up some more, equals 500. Where if we subtract 350 from both sides, you have x equals 150. Okay, so your answer will be x is equal to 150, y is equal to 250, and z is equal to 100. So we have three variables, that's how it's set up. All right, any questions on that one? All right, I'll leave that up for, let me make sure, x, y, z. All right, so let's leave that up for a little bit. All right. So next, we're going to solve 3x minus y plus z equals negative 15. X plus 2y minus z equals 1. And 2x plus 3y minus 2z equals 0. Okay, so remember your first step. You want to make sure it's in standard form, all the variables on the left. Everything is okay there, so we can skip that first step. Okay. Our second step, we're going to add together any two of them to eliminate a variable. So you have equation 1, equation 2, and equation number 3. I'll add 1 and 2 together because they already have an opposite z. So if you add them together, the z will already disappear, so you don't have to worry about multiplying anything. So it's a little less work if it's already kind of set up like that. So we'll add equation 1 and equation 2 to eliminate the z variable. Okay, so you have 3x minus y plus z equals negative 15, and x plus 2y minus z equals 1. Okay, so if we go ahead and add those together, 3x plus x is 4x. Negative y plus 2y is plus y. Z minus Z is 0, so that disappears just like we planned it. Negative 15 plus 1 is negative 14. Okay, so we have our first two-variable equation. Okay, so third step, you pick another two variables. So this time we'll pick 2 and 3, or get rid of the equation. Get rid of the variable. You could have picked 1 and 3, but just kind of mixing it up a little bit. So add equation 2 and equation 3 to eliminate Z. Okay, so remember, if you try to eliminate the Z here, it won't go anywhere. So you just have to multiply each term here by negative 2, so that when you do add them together, you'll have positive 2Z and negative 2Z, and they'll disappear. Okay, so multiply every term in equation 2 by negative 2. Notice my Z's and 2's look a lot alike, so the Z has the line through it, so hopefully it won't be confusing. Okay, so that means you have negative 2x plus negative 2 times 2y, minus negative 2 times z equals negative 2 times 1. Okay, and equation 3 is just 2x plus 3y minus 2z equals 0. So if we go ahead and just simplify those, we have negative 2x. Negative 2 times 2y is negative 2y, negative 4y. Negative 2 or minus negative 2z is positive 2z equals negative 2. And 2x plus 3y minus 2z equals 0. So you just go ahead and add those two together. Now every once in a while you'll get lucky, because here you have negative 2x and positive 2x is 0, so they cancel each other out. Negative 2z and positive 2z is 0, so they cancel each other out. So you have negative 4y plus 3y is negative y, and negative 2 plus 0 is negative 2. So negative y equals negative 2. We divide both sides by negative 1 or multiply them. We have y equals 2. Now the reason this is lucky is because when you combine steps 2 and 3, for step 4, you're just going to plug in that y equals 2 to that equation. You solve for x. So it's a whole lot faster for your fourth step. Okay, so leave that up for a second. Anyone still writing? Okay. Okay, so those are the answers from step 2 and step 3. Like I said, the reason that's easy is because now you just plug in y equals 2. So you have 4x plus 2 equals negative 14. So we subtract 2 from both sides. That cancels out. So you have 4x equals negative 16. Divide both sides by 4. So you have x equals negative 4. Okay, so you have your y equals 2 already, and your x equals 4. So now you go back to your original 3 equations, pick any one of them to plug in those 2, and solve for your z. Pick any original equation and solve for z. Okay, so if we go back to the original, we can pick any one of these. I'll pick this one for no reason other than I had to pick one. So you have x plus 2y, what I'll put that down there, minus z equals 1. Okay, so you have the x, which is negative 4, plus 2y, which is 2 times 2. I could erase that a little bit better. Here we go. So we have negative 4 plus 2 times 2 minus z equals 1. Okay, so you have negative 4 plus 4, which these two cancel each other out. So you have negative z equals 1. Divide each of those by negative 1. You have z equals negative 1. And again, you can check it if you want to. Okay, so your answer is negative 4, 2, and negative 1. It's just your x, y, and z. Bring that up just a bit. All right, so any questions on that one? All right, we'll do one more example. It looks like everyone's done writing, and that recording is going to cut off.